Hey folks, it's Uncle Jay.
I'm Kev.
That makes this the Freefly. It's been a while.
It's been a long time.
I guess what? You've been in your secure, undisclosed location.
Yes, I have.
Sadly, that's not a good thing.
Not a
It'd
good
be
thing.
closer to exile than
Yes, it is.
fun.
Yes, it is.
Jesus, dude. Well, it's
But
good to have you back.
I just don't have time. I don't have time to do these shows all that often. But hey, I'm creating time.
Right. Oh, jeez. Well, we really, I mean, the Black Five audience really, really appreciates your taking the time to grace us with your humble ass.
Seriously. Running your mouth. You people.
We actually did get at least one email asking about the football show, so
Well,
we'll at least get to the Patriots.
We'll talk about it later.
All right. First thing we got to talk about, though, is, I don't know, I have to give it to Berkeley over Madison's Moonbats as the craziest on the left. I mean, they are the nuttiest.
Yeah.
Most likely to go totally overboard.
Yeah.
So what they did...
Well,
come on. No, we're not going to quibble. We're not going to quibble. They're the
well,
worst.
A couple years ago, what? They were asking, Madison was asking to get rid of the recruiting station.
Dude, the protests they've got there make our
Instead, they just tore down the whole damn building and had to get rid of them anyway.
And we're still recruiting.
So
in Berkeley, they passed an ordinance stating that the Marines were unwelcome and uninvited recruiting intruders. And they gave Code Pink, those disgusting maggots, their own space so they could park this big idiot van and basically try to harass anybody who goes into the Marine Corps recruiting station.
Well, then Nancy Pelosi's not going to be there because she doesn't talk to her own constituents either.
No, Nancy's not real big about her constituents or Code Pink. But the bottom line is now there was enough pushback, Move America Forward. Some groups like that got together and basically counter-protested. There was another council meeting last night in Berkeley, and they kind of backed off and they kind of waffle-weaseled. So they're sending an apology, but they're not rescinding their little city council thing that says the Marines are scumbags.
Marines are scumbags.
So yeah, they're still basically, the position is still we're going to apologize, but our official position is you're still scumbags and unwelcome, uninvited recruiting intruders.
The same scumbags that afford them the right to protest within this nation. That's
that's misguided and misogynistic and
misogynistic.
I don't know. Code Pink, mostly women. I don't know. That was a stretch.
Wow.
Allow me to ventilate my colon. All right, we got to move on.
Oh man,
we got to move on. Actually, I went to see Barack last night. We already the video's up. That's all fun. Kev couldn't go.
I had to work.
Undisclosed location.
Yeah.
The thing is, though, now big as he is on the liberal side, he actually on the Sunday talk shows was tacking back from his "I'm going to pull all the troops out immediately, no matter what." And he put at least one qualifier in that the commander-in-chief should get to evaluate the situation on the ground before he caves to his Nutroots constituency. So he made a big tack back to the center for the general election.
So he's trying to grab some left of right moderates and
or right of way left,
whatever.
Right of the fever swamp.
Trying to
still
grab
on
a
the
few,
left.
or he just realized, holy shit, this operation's massive and we can't pull them out in a day.
He actually, I'll give him credit. I saw on his website he was talking about a phased withdrawal over 16 months.
Over 16 months,
which is better. I mean, yeah, seriously. Now that's better than most of the time they say, "Oh, we'll pull them out tomorrow. We'll put them all in boats. We'll send some freighters over."
Other than 160,000 civilian contractors that are in Iraq today.
What about our permanent bases that we already built?
What permanent bases? They're moving around. They don't exist.
They're mobile.
They don't exist. We're not actually in Iraq. Don't worry about it.
Right.
I had a guy actually tell me we're not in Afghanistan. I was at the bar. He was livid. He's like, "There's no way. We're not running any operations in Afghanistan." I'm like,
"Dude, we're running operations in Pakistan from Afghanistan. You gotta pay attention."
Of course, it was the same guy that was pissed off at Nixon. That he's like, "Yeah, I was in Vietnam, and I have utmost respect for all the Vietnam vets out there, believe me." But he goes, "I really hate Nixon. He lied to us." I'm like, "Sir, well, what year were you in Vietnam?" He's like, 67. I'm like, "But that was Lyndon Johnson." He's like,
Nixon was still lying.
He's like, "I hate you. You're a Bush fan." I'm like, "All right, see you later."
Bush lied to him about Nixon.
Everybody.
Bush lied to him about who was president when he was in Vietnam being lied to by Nixon.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that hurt. I think I pulled a muscle in my feeble little brain.
I couldn't put it all together, but he seemed to think that I was somehow a fascist anarchist.
You are a fascist anarchist nihilist, so he was right about that and wrong about everything else. All right, we got one more serious topic.
How is it not?
The Dead Tango Dance, man. It's time for the Dead Tango Dance.
What's that?
We whacked a big Hezbollah. Not we.
Yeah.
Our Zionist overlords, the Mossad, whacked a Hezbollah jackass in Damascus, Syria, which was very nice. I'm glad they did it there.
But didn't Nancy say that they're our friends and it's all a good time? And
Nancy Pelosi did declare Syria a terrorist-free, safe haven for democracy, liberalism, progressive ideals.
Oh, wow.
But
other than
she did that while wearing a headscarf and kowtowing to the chinless ophthalmologist.
Well, okay.
Come on, that's up there with the thin-lipped milk toast.
Yep.
Bottom line is, though, that this guy was Hezbollah's head of terror operations, more or less, since the 70s, and responsible for, among other things, planning the bombing of the Marine barracks in Beirut that killed 241 Americans, planning the hijacking of a TWA flight in 1985, on which Navy diver Robert Stetham was beaten, brutalized, shot, and then his dead body lobbed onto the tarmac. You scroungy fuckers.
He's dead now.
He's dead like a fucking bug. There's one or two of them still loose, though. So I'm hoping Mossad, maybe this is good news for next week. Wouldn't it be great if every week we had a new Mossad whacking? It'd be like the old days, like Munich.
Code Pink might hire Hezbollah to take care of the Marines in Berkeley.
Holy shit, that was good, dude. I had no idea where that was going.
I'm just reaching out to you guys. You know, you really don't. Berkeley, the city council, Code Pink. Hey, Hezbollah can take care of this shit. They did it once. I mean, obviously
the Marines bailed the next day.
They're all good. They're all good people. I mean, you all just pull them in, hold them
show
tight.
them the love.
Show them love.
That's awful.
It was terrible, but hey, they all pray to Allah.
Dude, when you're fighting warmongering imperialist thugs, you got to do what you got to do. Reach out to people who can get the job done. That's all we're saying.
All these kind people that are, doing nothing but showing.
Hey, wouldn't that mean that as soon as they made that call, like one of these FISA wiretaps could pick that up, and we could whack them and send them to Gitmo?
I don't know, because I keep saying stuff over my
How does Code Pink and the orange cell phone or the orange jumpsuits in Gitmo go? How would that look? How do they work that out? That's a fashion nightmare, people.
Yeah, it's not going to look good.
We'll make a deal. I'll make a deal right now. When Code Pink teams with Hezbollah against the Marines in Berkeley, we'll let them have pink jumpsuits in Gitmo before we waterboard them. You evil, disgusting tramps. That wasn't the word I wanted to use. I just censored myself.
Yeah, I want to use tramps.
Dirty, dirty anti-war whores.
Well, I don't know about being anti-war. I think more anti-American.
Okay, but I think they go from anti-war
I think everybody should be anti-war. Okay. I mean, war is not a good thing, folks, but it's the only thing that we do well as a group, and we've been doing it for so long. Let's just accept it, okay? But I think anti-American, seriously, kicking the Marines out. I mean, one of the oldest branches of our military. I mean, and they did work.
They worked for the Navy, establishing our democracy.
Yeah,
and aside from being naval infantry,
and how about just kick them out? Yeah, okay, guys, go away.
Well, see, they don't need them though, because Barack the Messiah is just going to make sure we all get along.
The yes man. So, are we putting gay men in the military? Yes. Are we doing this? Yes. Are we going to cut taxes? Yes. Are we going to create taxes? Yes.
The only thing he says no to is war and Republicans.
But then again, he's kind of sliding towards war.
Dude, if that was attack towards war,
he's a little bit, because he's got to pull some constituents out of there. He's got to pull some votes.
So he says he promised to pull
back slowly.
He promised to pull before he pulls back.
It's going to be a slow process, much like we have in Korea, Germany.
A phased withdrawal over the next century or so.
But I guarantee
that's not going to fly with the nut roots, dude.
But that's okay. Barack is just being coerced by the Republican, overlords.
Zionists got to him already too.
Yes.
I thought he was a Muslim.
He's not Muslim.
His middle name's Hussein, dude.
It's like Bob or John.
It's not like Bob or John at all.
I
don't know anybody named Hussein.
My interpreter had Hussein in his name.
You were in Iraq, dude.
I know, but he was an American. He's actually Egyptian, but he became an American while he was in Iraq.
All right, but this guy already managed to infiltrate mainstream American culture.
But don't you understand he gets his foreign policy from
Kenya? He gets foreign policy from his grandmother in Kenya.
Didn't he get his foreign policy from when he was a kindergartner in
Indonesia? That's right. Yeah. That was the funniest thing he's done recently.
That's amazing that a 5-year-old has that grasp.
Well, I mean, it's nice to know that when he was in kindergarten...
I understand Muslims. I mean, because I was in the largest Muslim nation when I was 5.
He said that. Seriously, I'd find the clip for you, but you know he said it. I've been to Indonesia. I was actually 25 or so when I was in Indonesia.
I stopped in Singapore. That's not Indonesia.
Malaysia.
That's Malaysia.
I think I've been to 7 majority Muslim countries, at least 5. But Barack, where you went to kindergarten does not stand as a foreign policy credential. Yeah. Sorry, buddy.
Sorry.
Well, Kev, we got to get to the meat of the matter. We covered all the light stuff and we covered the fluff. Now we got to get to the important stuff.
And I'm going to attack.